Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about a rant about Louis C.K.'s controversy. I know I'm a little late behind that controversy, but I don't understand how he got Me Too'd. Because he got Me Too'd, if you don't know, because he masturbated in front of these girls about 10 years ago, something like that, 8-9 years ago. But what's funny about this Me Too, latest Me Too witch hunt, is that he asked their permission and they said yes. That doesn't make any sense. They consented to him doing that. Yeah, I know it's weird that that would be a request. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a weird fetish. Yeah, no question about that. But there was no physical touching on his part to them. And they said yes. It was consensual. Now, their argument is there was a power dynamic. That's the reason why it was wrong. He was a powerful figure and they weren't. So their yes didn't mean yes. Doesn't make any sense. Why does that make any sense? Because 8, 9, 10 years ago, Louis C.K. was not the big figure he was now. He was nowhere near as influential. He wasn't as big of a name as he is now. He was nowhere near as famous. So that kind of shuts down the power argument. And again, they said yes. There was no physical assault on his side. He didn't force them to do anything. He asked them, and they said yes. But yet, he's a predator. So now you can't even get away if a woman says yes. That makes a lot of sense. It's going to be great for guys in the next 50 years. Or 10, 20 years. However long we have left in this planet. But, wow. I feel bad for the future generation of men. Because we are being emasculated. If a woman says yes, we could still be in trouble. That doesn't make any sense. But most of the world today doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is crazy. So, Louis C.K. asked these girls to masturbate in front of them. They said yes, but he's in trouble. They said it was because of the power difference, but he wasn't even that famous. He wasn't like Chris Rock back then. I mean, he wasn't as big as he is. No, he wasn't even that big. No. And not only that, we have Sarah Silverman, one of the biggest comedians, I guess you could say the biggest comedian out there besides Amy Schumer. She's saying that, yeah, she, on a Howard Stern interview, she goes off and says that Louis C.K. used to ask her all the time if he would masturbate in front of her around that same time. And she would say, yeah, why not? And he would do it. And she thought it was hilarious. She didn't mind at all. She didn't mind. It was totally fine. But with her, it was okay. But for these other girls, it wasn't. Because of the power dynamic. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. Not only that, but she says the times when she said no, she didn't want him to do that. Like, she was like, fuck no, I don't want to see that right now. Or I just don't want to see that. He was like, okay. And just didn't do it. So when she said no, he didn't do it. If she happened to say yes, then he did do it, which is the way consent works. But somehow, Louis C.K. is being thrown underneath the bus. And then he gets thrown underneath the bus again because he jokes about Parkland. I wouldn't, survivors. I'm not even sure if I would even call them survivors. Because not everybody was even in the vicinity. Not all the students were even in the vicinity of where the shootings were even taking place. He jokes about the Parkland survivors. And this is like one of the least ratchet or offensive things he said. If you watch his comedy sketches, especially like 5 years ago, he said a lot more worse, borderline pedophilia type stuff. Crazy stuff. More that would count for way more offensive things. But he says he's one thing about how kids today gets offended so easy, and somehow we got to worship what the kids are saying and doing. And he was talking about the Parkland survivor. He gets thrown underneath the bus again. I'm like, have you seen this guy's material? Have you seen any comedian's material? Have you seen Sarah Silverman's comedic material? It's way more offensive stuff like than that, but he gets thrown underneath the bus. This is crazy. Society is crazy. Society really is crazy. Well, I can't say society because most people feel the same way I feel about this Louis C.K. Situation. That's why he still sells out shows. I mean, even though the venues are smaller, yeah, because you can't get the big parts because they don't want to host them because of the potential backlash. Most people don't care. He's not R. Kelly or Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby. He asked permission and they said yes. It's not the same thing. I mean, it's even less to me. It's even less of an offense than what Aziz did of that whole situation. And I don't even think what Aziz did was even wrong, because he got consent too. I mean, there was no physical interaction between, again, Louis C.K. and the female. There was no touching between them. There was no assault. Nothing that could be deemed as assault. I'm not saying that Aziz did assault. He didn't. He was innocent and clear too. But yeah, it's crazy, y'all. I mean, it's crazy. I'm so glad that I'm a Christian, and so I believe in like all that stuff happening in between my wife and me, so that I don't have to worry about ever being like, charged for physical assault or getting too close to a lady. Because thank God of my religious beliefs, I'm not even, sex is supposed to be between just me and my wife, so I'm not concerned in that department. But on a spectrum of fairness, that is not fair what happened to C.S. Lewis. It's not fair at all. And the far left, the mainstream media and the Hollywood social justice warriors are more religious than the most religious person I've ever met in my life. They're such on a witch hunt. They're so ready to judge people. It's so crazy how they judge and destroy people so fast. Just throw the first stone with no real way of forgiveness or getting back on track. It's so crazy. They did it to Kevin Hart, C.S. Lewis, Aziz Ansarian. It's getting crazy, y'all. Which, part of me is kind of happy, because I think the Hollywood main structure needs to be destroyed, and they're doing a good job of destroying themselves. But, it is getting crazy, and it's entertaining to watch and frustrating at the same time. But yeah, that's all I got to say for today. You guys stay awesome. I'm going to stay awesome. Subscribe to my channel to support and have fun. I'll see you guys next time.